what are some of the physical threats that are not physical abuse that you received from your end? And a lot of people down there are still continuing to get them, and they think probably until this man break my leg, that's the time that I gonna walk out. What are some of the physical abuse did you receive or did you experience rather?
I'm glad you mentioned about the breaking of the bones and also some of the things that you find people going through. Somebody will come to the office and they have a black eye and they say, I fell and I hit myself on the bed. Those black eyes that women cover. I used to wear a headscarf. And you ask me, why are you wearing a headscarf? It's a style. I'm just being fashionable. You know me, you know your friends. Know your friends enough so that when they start doing some funny stuff, dig deeper into that. If you care about them, look into those signals because they will come and before you know it, they are dead. The other things is this person is always blaming you. That's, you're always being blamed. You're not smart enough. I am an Alliance Girls product, but I can't tell you how many times I would be told you're good for nothing. And I'm saying this because I know women are living with that. Men are living with that. You're not bringing enough money in the house. You're not good. You're not providing well enough like Baba so and so and Mama so and so. They are comparing you with other people all the time. Or you are not dressing well. You are not smart enough. You married me because you knew I was smart, because you loved me the way I was. What has happened? I don't dress well enough anymore. Those are some of the telltale things. The other thing is they're abusing you psychologically. Like I said, you are being belittled, they are shaming you, or you are overweight, you are underweight. There's nothing good you do. This person is almost like they are chasing after you with the torch or with a flashlight, looking for your mistakes. You speak, there's nothing good that comes out of your mind, out of your mouth. What has changed? Ask yourself what is going on. These things I was never told during our dating and our courting, but suddenly now I'm married and now I can't cook well. During your dating you would cook and he would say, oh, I have never eaten something. I have not eaten ugali like this one, nyeni like this one. Suddenly you are not cooking good. I like the way you clean your house when he came to visit you or when you went to visit him. Whatever you did then, they praised you. Suddenly they become narcissists. They become sadists. You're doing nothing. Then when they want to control finances, you got married as an adult. I was already working. I was managing my money. I was helping my family with whatever I was making because I stopped at Form 4 to help educate my siblings. So I was managing my money. Suddenly, somebody takes over the financial controls because you are not good with your money. Another red sign. Or everybody, the in-laws and everybody. And I want to say this for those of us who have in-laws. I have daughters-in-law, but I do not ever call them my daughters-in-law. I prayed for daughters in love, and God blessed me with 2 daughters that I call my daughters. So I started with, the reason I say I have 6 is because I have, biologically, I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, but God gave me 2 daughters. And I am saying this for men and women who are out there. You have prayed for daughters, or your sons are getting married, your daughters are getting married. Can we please erase this in-law business? Because it is also messing up and bringing domestic violence. That was part of my domestic violence. I cannot hide that. Let them rest in peace because they are already gone. But I am saying this because it is still happening today. The reason I talk in public nowadays is not for my fun. I'm done with mine, but I have children. I have young people like you who are raising families now. If you do not ever want somebody to touch your son or your daughter, Ithe Gathuru told me you have a son and a daughter. I mean, I can imagine if somebody touched your daughter today, I can only imagine what he would do to them.
Sure.
I'll throw a challenge at you. Why would you want somebody? Why would you want your son to go touching somebody's daughter the wrong way?
Oh yeah.
I am throwing this to us who have children. What you don't want done to your daughter, don't ever allow your sons to go and do it out there. That was the way I dealt with my sons. They were very passionate about their sister. And one of the things we agreed, I see you very, very protective of your sister Mombi. Promise me one thing. The girls you marry will have brothers. Don't you ever touch somebody's daughter. Don't you ever touch somebody's sister the way you don't want done to your sister. God tells us, do unto others the way you want done. This should be some of the morals we need to be using. Our society is very one-sided at times. You hear of boys being raised to be men. You need to behave like a man. Does behaving like a man slapping mean that you go on slapping your wife and you slap your wife in front of her mother or your mother and they say nothing? I am not for that. That is something, those are some of the cultural norms that we need to get rid of in our community. It is okay for a man to slap, but wait until a woman raises a hand. It is chaos everywhere. And let me explain some of the phenomena we are having now, that we are having women abusing men. And I do not advocate for that, because you heard me say, I have 3 sons. Don't you touch my son. I have my brothers. I have nephews, and don't touch any of them. In the same token, some of the things are happening because these girls grew up with fathers beating their mothers. The sad thing is, some of them who have come to me as abusers have told me that I never meant to grow up as an abuser to my husband, but this is what happened. I swore to myself I will never be treated by any man the way my mother was treated. So back to the society, back to the background where our children are growing, seeing their mothers and their fathers slap one another. Your children are copying. What you do not want to see happening tomorrow, please take care of it today. We cannot leave these things and pretend they are not happening. A bad thing is a bad thing. It does not matter whether it's my son doing it or my daughter doing it or another, or the daughter of so and so. We need to go back to the concept that a child, it takes a village to raise a child. When we get back to the basics, and I like what you're doing with the Gathuru, back to the basics. That is one basic we need to go back. Where are our morals? Where did we go wrong? We stopped protecting our children as a community, and we raised some of them to be brutes. We gave our boys permission. Okay, here you are telling them, boys don't cry, but they can go and hurt they can just go and beat up their sisters. When they beat up a sister in the house, you tell them you cannot beat your sister, you need to protect your sister. But when he grows up and starts beating his wife, it's okay. That's what men do. That's what I used to be told. Oh no. If he cannot beat his sister, if it is not okay for him to slap his sister, why would you say it is okay for him to go slapping his wife? The same thing with the boys, with the girls. If the girl is not supposed to go, kicking and slapping her brother, why would you allow her to go and kick her husband when they get married? We need to balance these things and remove the evil from among us, because the sad thing is that domestic violence is now leading to suicide. It is leading to alcoholism. It is leading to substance abuse and drugs, homicides, suicides. What next? We in the diaspora know that this is something we have been dealing with within the last 2 years. I remember last year at the beginning of the year, within 2 months, we lost 20 young people to suicide. How many more do we need to lose to say enough is enough?